Welcome to a very interesting discussion with some of the tech visionaries of the country with Sandeep, Sanchit and Isha. I would ask some questions to you. What do you feel when we think of tech? So starting with you, Sanchit, how do you see robotics evolving in industries over the next 5 years and particularly in the Indian continent?
So yeah, definitely in next 5 years, it's a long time. I can see robots all over around. With respect to AI, only in coming 2-3 years, only especially in hospitality as well. So again, I can take similar example in airports. Previously, we were standing in a long queues and all and filling the check-in. And nowadays, we have some automatic robots. We can do the check-in within few seconds only. So similar thing can happen in hospitality again. So check-in part, reservation part, checkout part, even serving things can happen easily with respect to robots, which we can see now as well.
Okay. So, thanks, Sanchit, for a wonderful insight. So now, Isha, since I feel women have the most sensitive heart and emotional approach when they are in business, so what ethical considerations should be taken into account when deploying AI-powered robots into workspaces, since there's a fear that AI will replace human beings? So what are the certain ethical principles you believe industries need to adopt?
So I believe it will not gonna replace humans, because humans have emotions, right? So we can code emotions in robots and through AI, but we cannot, it is how much we will gonna feed the information, right? So we have a decision making power. Yes, again we can tell robots for making the decision in this particular way, but not always the case, because there will be multiple scenarios that can come in picture. So what I think, AI will not gonna replace the job. We have to upgrade ourselves, upskills ourselves, like you did in understanding the chat GPT, and your work has been reduced. So similarly, we have to upgrade ourselves and be on the top of it to understand the robotics, to understand and then how the operations work, and that is the new skill set that we have to gain. And if we're gonna upgrade it, we are the creators of robot. So it will never ever gonna replace us. It will make our lives easy. Example, I have been to Decathlon recently, and I have seen that automated systems are integrated where you can billing yourself, right? So you don't have to stand in queues for a long time and then you have to make an order in order to purchase anything, right? You can just grab the thing, whatever you want to purchase, and put it on the device, and you can directly just click on the billing part. Through the card payment, you can make the payment. It is so easy. It is making the life easy. How? We don't have to stand in long queues, right? So this is the power. And be it in any sector, if I talk about the hospitality sector, there are a lot of things. I was just discussing with you that actually there are a lot of things. For example, cleaning the specific areas where humans don't want to do it, but as a nation we have to have a clean environment, right, in order to reduce the diseases, in order to reduce the and increase our well-being, right? So in that scenario, that can be one of the very good use case which can help in utilizing the machine learning and AI, which can do the dirtiest part of things which no one wants to do, right? Yes. So this is the power, and with this we can make our life easier, right? It will not gonna replace it. We are being very much reluctant to upgrade ourselves. That is why we are seeing a fear, right? So we should be open to this and then see the magic.
That was wonderful, Isha, to brief us so nicely and making people aware of what is artificial intelligence, what is robotics, and how we can integrate it into our daily lives. So Sandeep ji, you have been in the industry for last 20 years. So you have seen tech changing the industry an ecosystem landscape of how do we work, and it has changed the functionality of the society as a whole. So what do you feel that how tech has made our lives better?
So I'll give an example from day-to-day life. In 2000 era, everybody was not having phones, and when they were having phones, they were like those QWERTY keypad phones. Then came smartphones, and everybody said that this is Gen X, Gen Z phones because old people will not be able to adapt to these phones. Nowadays, you must be seeing that more than the younger generation, older people are hooked up to the phones using OTT apps and everything else. So, this transformation and adaptability with human is immense. And to your question, how we will transform this, it's already happening. And I think going forward, it will help us more, help us a lot, and we will be able to make our lives better by creating these kind of solutions.
Okay. Thank you, Sandeep ji, for shedding your light and breaking it down so smoothly. So, Sanchit, you work for one of the top 30 MNCs of India, like S&P Global, that has headquarters all over the world, and they have big office spaces like 3 floors, 4 floors, 20-story building, and the area is too high. And you, as a product owner and development head, so what do you feel like? How you can integrate robots and artificial intelligence into the ecosystem of your company, where there is little less redundancy on the office boys, where they have to carry 50 coffee mugs and take multiple rounds to serve coffee to people, or anything what you witness around your office premises.
So before going inside the office to serve coffee, I can start my example outside the office. So everyone, in every office we have a biometric. So again, we can use a robot there, so which is a very nice innovative idea, and which can help us in checking a lot of things as well as in from the entry only of the office. So we can have robots at the entry itself, which will be checking in, plus telling you multiple information at the check-in as well, and plus checkout as well. So definitely we can start robotics AI outside the office itself, which will help us. Obviously, guards can do other things rather than these things. And moving towards the obviously inside, definitely if in multiple MNCs, so robots can be used easily to serve things, plus as Isha mentioned, for cleaning as well. Because again, some of the office boys cannot be in every floor everywhere. So definitely robots can be used for cleaning, serving, everything in the MNCs, plus again we can have multiple purposes as well. If I have to pass some files from one place to another place, or maybe in another floor, so again we can use this robots by continuing our work. Again, as a conclusion, it will be efficient for me not to go at other place, so I can use with this different ways.
So Sandeep ji, I remember talking to you 2 years back, and you said that you and your family is quite foodie. You love going to multiple restaurants and cafes and big hotels, and you also love traveling. You are fond of it. So how do you feel that when we integrate robots or artificial intelligence into the ecosystem of hospitality, how convenient it is going to be for people or for the waiters? Because nowadays I see all the big 5-star hotels are hiring graduates from IIHM, International Institute of Hotel Management, and they are paying a heavy fees like 25 lakhs to get educated, and they are not willing to do menial jobs like serving welcome drinks to people, standing and do the tiring work, or there is lot of here and there included and involved. So what do you feel that how we can use their talent to the best term possible, and what are your experiences like how we can integrate?
Talking about experience, like I have 2 kids and they are small, and when going somewhere around for out for dining, first of all these robots bring a extractor and they somewhere hook our kids to the ecosystem, how the things are going, and also it increases the productivity of the people serving there in the hospitality industry itself. So this would immensely help the people there. How the things would like you said that they will not be doing the small jobs like serving the food, or at least not serving but bringing the food, because then serving is a human touch which would, I think, never go away. Or maybe you will come up with a fantastic robot which will be having a human touch also, but bringing the food and getting that to the table from the kitchen, I think it's a marvelous concept altogether.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. Since Isha, you have been to multiple countries apart from India, so everyone is talking about tech-enabled country, tech-enabled society, tech-enabled ecosystem. AI is first. So, what are the top 3 countries where you see that they have already adopted tech into their system, robots into their system, and India is still lagging back? But I feel that robots are created by Indian minds. If you go to Google premises, all you will see is Indians working. So, Indians are the most genius brains and the smartest of all. So, why can't we use that brains into Indian continent to build that ecosystem? So,
First of all, I want to share that I have been to Scotland, London recently, and I have seen that India is no far behind. We are even ahead of other people in terms of technology, because what they are being like, I have been to some of the event recently, that is the Big Data London, and you know, everywhere big data is in demand, and AI, ML, this is the new buzzword, I would say, right? So what happened in that event also, every single person, what they are being doing, whatever the company products they have been created, we are also being living in a tier 2 city, we are also working on the same platforms, we have been working on the same technology, and we are no far behind for sure. But where we are lagging is the integration. For example, if any, like I talk about the Decathlon, right? So over there also they have the same systems. In India, Decathlon stores, they have the same systems, right? So if it is a MNC company, or if it is a company that is outside of India and they want to have the same environment, I would say like in India across the stores, then we are not far behind, because they are also the same things. Here in India also the same things. Where we are far behind is from the government perspective, that they have to take the initiatives forward to integrate these things. And I have seen this change recently with the Make in India, right, and other campaigns that is happening, and government has started taking these initiatives. Once we will gonna, government will gonna integrate it in every single place, then there will be a change.
yes.
That is my perspective.
Thanks, Isha. That was a wonderful opinion. So, yeah, you are right. Indian government is doing way more things for integrating tech-enabled society. Like when we had demonetization, Modi made a statement, Modi ji, that we want to make India digital Bharat. And that point of time, we started using Paytm, GPay, UPI started integrating, and more card transactions started happening. And now recently I was at Uttar Pradesh International Trade Show 2nd edition, and there were big banners, 500 crore project for manufacturing robots in India. So of course Yogi ji, Modi ji, the Indian government is making turntables around India, and we want to manufacture not only for our own country but export it as well to increase the GDP and economy of the country. So Sanchit, since you have worked in volatile environments and different business sectors, like from finance to supply chain to healthcare to milk basket, which was grocery sector company. So you have diverse experience. So as per your opinion, where do you see that integrating robots would be actually beneficial for the ecosystem? Like, you can state top 3 ecosystems or top 5, however you feel like, or more if you want.
Yeah, top 3 will be coming obviously where we are having manual repetitive steps. So I can start definitely with the supply chain logistics from where I work, obviously not biased one, but definitely because you can see in warehouses a person has to go again and again in the same steps and has to pick the same products. So definitely robots should be there so that automatic steps should be done by the robots, and robot will know that from where that product has to be picked. So definitely topmost is the supply chain and warehouses. Second, definitely I'll say hospitality, because in hospitality, as again why I am saying this, because I am taking the conclusion where we are having long queues so that we can do the task faster. So in hospitality, if there is a weekend, long weekend, so then definitely there will be long queue over the check-in line, check-in in the hotels, check-out in the hotels. So definitely that can be reduced while putting some your manual entries in directly in the robot. You can get the key automatically. So definitely with respect to hospitality, check-in, check-out, serving, cleaning can be done very easily, which is currently we are not doing at all. Currently I'm talking about India, which is we are currently little bit behind. And third, again I can say airport, similar reasons, longer queues and all, and long waiting time. So again with respect to robots and all, check-in, check-out, luggage things and all can be done easily with respect to multiple robots roaming around in the airport. So conclusion of my all 3 points are where we have a longer queue so that we can make the things faster and repetitive tasks.
So since you have shared your opinion, so how well do you see that are robots integrated into system of hospitality industry? Because that's one of the niche space and markets which Alphadroid is covering. Like, we have tie-ups with one of the biggest renowned hotels where they want to reduce the redundancy on their staff and want to make them more productive and efficient. So how do you see robots integrating into the system of hospitality very nicely? That's a counter question for you.
So again, I'll start with your statement only. You stated few minutes back only that people are doing HM and all. They're not doing just for serving things. So again, to serve, we can have robots, which is again, I'll go back to my statement as well, which is totally simple, a task from A to B, which is repetitive task. So they can be handled by robots so that other people who can manage other things like presentation, like problem solving things or creativity to attract customers. Just to serve things, cleaning things can be done easily by robots, which is not making any emotional touch as well. Just cleaning things and serving or checking out, checkout, which I just mentioned. So it is not at all any emotional thing attached to that. We just have to pass the key and tell the rules, which can be done by robots. Except that the manual things which can be touched by emotional things, we can innovate some new things from which customer can be attractive. So basically, the repetitive tasks which can be handled by robots are check-in, check-out, cleaning, giving keys, or maybe let's suppose we ask for extra towels, coffee pouches and all. So these all things are not at all emotional touch. So this can be served by robots easily, which can be done definitely in coming years.
Maybe you understand Alphadroid's purpose really nice, and that's what we are here to do, that use robots for menial tasks and repetitive tasks that what people are not willing to do, and use their brains for innovation and creation. So Sandeep ji, your designation is Chief Technology Officer. Like, it has a big word, technology. So what do you associate with when you hear the word technology? Like, what you feel? Tech.
Yeah, so everything these days is tech and tech. From and moreover, I'll add to what Sanchit has said, that tech has now intruded into our homes, and not just now. It's like way back in 90s also we had washing machines in our home. That were also a type of a robot itself. They made our lives easier. Our moms, our sisters, our everybody's life easier. So then came some kind of AI into the systems, and now we are having like vacuum cleaners and everything, which are all fully automated, autonomous. So that is also, I think, a form of Alphadroid itself, and it can also be transformed into the same thing. So technology, and what I believe in from my personal experience, in tech nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. Just we have to have the vision, and we have to have the thinking idea what we have to do. Goal has to be there. The path would be created as we go on.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandeep. It makes me feel nice about the conversation which we are having here. So I don't want this conversation to end, but last but the least question, and we will have more and more discussions as we go ahead with time. So any one of you can answer. So now we have talked a lot about artificial intelligence, robotics, technology, tech-enabled, tech-enhanced, AI-powered. So what is the societal impact which we can create with this ecosystem for better? Any one of you can take, or anyone, all of you can share your point and opinion with this. Starting with you, Isha.
Yeah. So societal impact for the tech perspective, I think it will gonna enhance, not gonna deteriorate anything. The reason is that because in art, but there is one condition, that society has to acknowledge it and has to accept it. Example, we have been working on some of the greatest thing, like for example you can take Vande Bharat, right? Recently, innovation in India, the fastest, it's only 2.5 hours, right, from Delhi to Chandigarh, which is very good and an achievement for India. But people have to accept it and acknowledge it. I have been travelled again when I was coming from London, and I travelled in Vande Bharat from there to here, and I saw people have taken the things for granted. They are not respecting the things. However, this is the change. When I went to Scotland, even when they were getting in the bus, they were wishing the driver. They were considering it as a human. The driver was wishing the good morning, have a nice day. That is a sweet gesture, right? So similarly, if I talk about in India, people have taken the things for granted, right? So we have to accept the fact, we have to appreciate it. If anything is happening, even the robots are inventing, even the trains are being manufactured in India, you have to take it, you don't have to take it for granted. You have to acknowledge it, you have to embrace it, and you have to take care of it, because government cannot do it. They can provide us the resources. We as a company also can provide the resources, but it is how we will gonna utilize it, will gonna make a difference.
Yeah. That's very nicely said, Isha. As tech is integrated into the system, so we should not forget our roles as human being of being more kinder, more nurturing, more caregiving towards the nation and towards our resources back, rather than taking it for granted. Because nowadays everyone is telling sustainable. So it's a word that is talk of the town. So if we don't respect resources, we will again and again regenerate it and create it, which will lead to more and more wastage. Rather than, it is better to protect what we have, and I completely agree with you on that. So Sanchit, what is your opinion about societal impact?
So, with respect to societal impact, first I'll tell what negative impact Bollywood industry is showing on robots. So definitely I wanted to add, nowadays movies coming, Shahid Kapoor have wanted to marry a robot. So definitely these movies should be banned. Robots are these what Alphadroid are creating, helping customers and reducing human efforts, definitely not who can love. So definitely with respect to society impact, I definitely wanted to add, at least ban these movies and at least start creating some documentary or some kind of movies from our youngsters, youth will start learning. Instead of showing these kind of concepts or movies, we should launch some documentary or some informative movies with respect to robots, definitely not these kind of things. Yeah.
I would definitely agree to that. Like now, emergence of social media and all the digital platforms, somewhere down the line, we all human beings have been more of a consumer rather than users of it. Like, we have to be mindful users. We don't have to consume what we see on the grassroots level. We have to dig in deep more and see that whether we are making smart or wiseful decisions. I would say that more than smarter decisions, because we have to make wise decisions, because I feel smart to phone bhi hota hai but we have to be wise. Thanks for shedding your opinions and giving your wider perspectives and breaking down artificial intelligence, technology and robotics in such a simplified manner. It's not a complex theory, but it is a very simplified manner. And thanks for making Alphadroid launch in Chandigarh so grandeur and so insightful, because it's at the end about the information we share, because I feel knowledge share is knowledge multiplied. So it was my pleasure to have you, Sandeep Rajan, Sanchit, Chandhok and Isha Taneja. Thanks for taking out time from your busy schedule